Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about some of the tiniest, but honestly, most powerful words in the English language. They might seem like small details, but getting these right, it's a total game changer for sounding natural and fluent. So, let's dive right in.
So, if you're learning English, especially if your first language is Spanish, I bet you've had that moment. You're trying to say something and you pause, thinking, wait, should I use a or some or something else? It can be super confusing. But you know what? Don't worry about it. We are going to make it all crystal clear today.
Okay, so what in the world are we even talking about? Well, the fancy grammar name for these words is determiners, but let's just think of them as little signposts. They come right before a noun, and they tell your listener important info, like which one you mean or how many there are. They basically add all the precision you need.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, with the most common ones of all, the articles. These are the absolute foundation, the words you're going to be using constantly in almost every sentence.
Now here's where things get interesting. In English, you have a book and an apple. The rule's pretty simple. You use "and" before a vowel sound. But check this out. Look at the word "the." In Spanish, you have 4 words, right? El, la, los, and las. In English, it's just "the" for all of them. The teacher, the books, the house, the ideas. One word does all that work. So hey, in this one area, English is actually simpler.
Okay, now that we've got the basics down, let's build on that. Let's talk about amounts. When you want to explain how much or how many of something there is, you need a special kind of determiner. We call these quantifiers.
Let's just walk through these. Some is fantastic for when you're talking about an amount that isn't specific, like I need some water. For bigger numbers of things you can actually count, you'll use many, as in many students came. All is easy. It means the whole thing, 100%. And every is great because it focuses on each individual in a group, like every day is a new opportunity. These words really give your sentences a sense of scale. And now for the part that trips almost everyone up. Seriously, some of these words look nearly identical, but one tiny little change can completely flip the meaning of your sentence. So let's tackle these tricky pairs head-on so you can use them with total confidence.
So the whole secret here is that one tiny word, a. It changes everything. If you say, there is little time left, it has a negative, kind of stressful feeling. It means you're almost out of time, there's not enough. But if you say, I want a little milk, that's positive. It means you want some, a small but perfectly good amount. That single letter A changes the entire feeling from not enough to yes, some.
And guess what? The exact same logic applies here, but for things you can count. If you say, few people like liver, it sounds negative, doesn't it? It implies not many at all. But if you say, I have a few minutes, that's positive. It means you have some time to talk. So the rule is exactly the same. No A feels negative, like almost none, but adding A makes it positive, meaning a small number.
Awesome. You're doing great. For our final section, let's look at a bunch of words that are incredibly useful for talking about people, things, and making choices. You will use these all the time in everyday conversations.
I love these words because they're basically shortcuts. They make your sentences so much smoother. Instead of saying a person, you can just say someone. Instead of all the people, you say everyone. You're just combining a basic idea like some, any, every, or no with one or body for people and thing for objects. So simple.
Just a couple of quick pro tips here to make this even clearer. First, everyone and everybody mean the exact same thing. You can use whichever one you want. Same deal with no one and nobody. And here's a really useful little trick. You'll notice that anyone and anything show up most often in questions, like is anyone home or do you need anything?
And finally, let's quickly cover words for making choices. Both means you want the two things available. Either means one or the other is okay with you. And neither means you don't want the first one and you don't want the second one. Then, of course, you have another for when you want one more, and the others to talk about the rest of the things in a group.
So there you have it, a guide to some of the most important little words in English. But here's the real key. You can't just memorize them. You have to actually use them. So, I've got a challenge for you. Which one of these words are you going to try to use in an English sentence today? Pick one, and actually say it. Build a sentence with it. That's how you truly make this knowledge your own. Thanks so much for watching.